Hi guys, and welcome to Samsung Now. Samsung Now is where we look at all things Samsung, all things tech, all things gaming, and anything in between. Today we're starting a new series of reviews where I'm reviewing 4K Blu-ray releases, movies, and giving you my thoughts on the movie itself, the story, the acting, and also the actual transfer to 4K and the additional extras and whatnot that you get with it. So the first one what we're doing today is Logan, which I've got here, which I only got the other day, and I've watched both the 4K movie and also the noir version, the black and white version that you get with it also, and as well as the extras, and you get a digital download. The first things that you sort of need to understand with this, we've got I've made some notes. We've got Hugh Jackman. He is kind of huge. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Patrick Stewart as Professor X, and Stephen Merchant, which is a surprise for me to see, but as Caliban. Basically, they're a bit down on their luck on the Mexico border. It's 2029, sort of not too near distant sort of future, and the way they've set it is kind of believable. It's not sort of this sort of dystopian future where everything is sort of too bleak. It's kind of a believable future as to kind of where we could be if things go pear-shaped. Wolverine is acting as a driver for hire in a limousine. He's got a load of issues. He's sick. He's drunk. He's got alcohol problems, drug problems. Just things are just generally pretty bad. Patrick Stewart as Professor X is also ailing and sick, and they're holed up along with Caliban, Stephen Merchant in this awful place in the Mexico border, away from everyone, and really struggling and really down on their luck. And during the sort of the initial stages, we get this mystery woman that comes along with this girl, and things begin to unravel as she requests help, and it's kind of unclear as to why she would want that. And then we discover that this little girl is not such a little girl after all, and she's got some very similar powers to or an ailment almost to what Wolverine has. And this is when the bad guys come in who want this little girl back, and they can see her as a weapon. And that's where things sort of really begin. The action is intense at times, but it's also how they've done it is, and I'm not a big fan of X-Men movies, and this is kind of what surprised me so much about Logan as a movie. Previous X-Men movies have kind of been very effects driven, and that kind of pulls me away from the movie quite a lot. Whereas this kind of, there are effects in it, obviously, but the way they've used them is they've used them as a seasoning, and it fits well with the setting, the Mexico border, the dirt, the grime, the intense heat of everything, the fact everything just feels almost palpable in terms of the grime and the grit of the movie. And the way they've done that is really good. They've not gone overboard with it, and they've made Wolverine a more believable character in terms of his faults and issues. The same with Professor X and Caliban. Probably the most least believable character in it is Caliban for me. But the pacing is really good. How there's a natural flow to the movie. It moves really nicely. The scripting is good. The acting is tremendous from Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman. They really do really well. Again, for me, I don't know whether it's a personal thing that I'm not a big fan of Stephen Merchant, but it just doesn't kind of fit in that. That's, to me, he's the sort of weaker character. And the little girl that acts in it is really good. She really, for a little girl, she really, really pulls it out the bag. So, you know, there's some really great pacing. There's a great story there. I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but what I will say is there's some real heartfelt moments in the movie that have been massively missing from other X-Men movies, that kind of turn me off them, because there's sort of no real heart to it. There's no real emotion to it. And this being the swan song for Wolverine and Professor X, the way they've done it is incredibly touching. And for many, I would imagine, X-Men movie and comic fans will be in floods of tears as a result. It's very, very well done how they've done it. It's not... It's true to the story of this movie. They've not made it too dramatic. It's touching, it's heartfelt, it's real, almost human. So they've also kind of set it up nicely without giving too much away for future movies, without the main guys in it. So they've kind of set up some, you know, the option for a future with those. In terms of the actual set that you get, and I wish more 4K Blu-rays did this. You get the Ultra HD Blu-ray, that's on one disc, and then you get the Ultra HD Blu-ray black and white, the noir version, which I wish so many Blu-ray 4K Blu-ray releases did this, because this kind of makes the package really worthwhile. You know, for 20 odd pounds, $25, you get, you know, a good amount of movie content for your money. And also you get the standard Blu-ray release, and also the extras. The extras are pretty good. They're actually, you know, better than most. You know, I think because they know this is sort of the swan song for Patrick Stewart and Hugh. I was going to say Hugh Grant, then Hugh Jackman. That would be a surprise if he was in it. Then yeah, they've kind of added a bit more than what you normally get with these things. So it's a great movie. If you've got, you know, I would even recommend buying this if you've sort of just got a Blu-ray player. But if you've got a 4K TV that's capable, and this is in Ultra HD Premium, which the Samsung TVs are set up for, and you've got a decent sort of sound setup too, because the sound is really good. I believe, I need to check actually if it's an Atmos. Yeah, it's an Atmos. I did notice that there was a lot of height in the audio. So, you know, the sound is really good. It's really punchy. It's a very, very simple buy. Just buy this, even if I'm not an X-Men fan. I've seen I believe I've seen all the movies, but I was really doubting whether to buy this. But I heard so many good things about it that I thought, well, I just got to get it. You know, if it's the last one, it's meant to be really good. And I just thought maybe it's just because lots of X-Men fans were saying it's good because it's the last one. No, it's good because it's a really good movie. So if you don't own this and you've got a 4K TV and you've got a 4K Blu-ray player, get this movie, buy this movie. You know, it's a great pack. You get a good amount of content. The film noir version of it is really good. It really stretches and pushes these TVs, and you know, it just adds an extra element to it. So watch the standard version first, enjoy that, and then watch the film noir version a few weeks later. I watched them almost back to back, but just really great. So yeah, buy this movie. Buy this movie. Okay, guys, that's the first one of one of my reviews. The next one we're going to be reviewing is John Wick 2. Please look out for that. Please let me know what your thoughts are on Logan, what you believe is going to happen. Please don't give any spoilers. If you've seen the movie, do not give spoilers out in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next review. Thanks guys, take care, bye bye.